Good morning, students. Today's topic is complex numbers. It is very important for any competitive examination. Now, if suppose a number in the form of x plus iy, a number in the form of x plus iy, where x comma y are real numbers, and I equals to root of minus 1, I equals to root of minus 1 is called a complex number, The expression x plus iy, where x comma belongs to R and I equals to root minus 1 is called a complex number. Okay. Now here I is called real part, y is called imaginary part. In x plus iy, x is called real part and y is called imaginary part of the complex number. Now, if suppose if x equals to 0, then the complex number x plus iy, is called purely imaginary. If x equals to 0, then the complex number is called purely imaginary. And y equals to 0, then the complex number is called purely real. Next, always the complex number x plus iy, it is denoted by z. The complex number x plus iy always denoted z. Next, if suppose the two complex numbers, if suppose z1 equals to x plus iy, another complex number z2 equals to x minus, just a minute, a plus ib, z1 equals to x plus iy, z2 equals to a plus ib. If z1 equals to z2, z1 and z2 the two complex numbers are equal. The two complex numbers are equal. Means here x plus iy equals to a plus ib. Now it is defined only x equals to a, means real part of first complex number and real part of second complex number must be equal, and imaginary part of first complex number and second complex number also must be equal. Only in that case the two complex numbers are equal, otherwise we cannot say the complex numbers. Next, if suppose Z1 greater than Z2, first complex number greater than second complex number, means x plus iy is greater than a plus ib, a plus ib. Now compulsory the imaginary parts must be 0, only it is defined, otherwise it is not defined. Means y equals to 0, b equals to 0 and x greater than a, only it is defined, otherwise it is not defined, If suppose similarly z1 less than z2, means x plus iy less than a plus ib, it is defined compulsory the imaginary parts must be 0, means y equals to 0 and b equals to also must be 0. Imaginary parts must be 0, only it is defined, the inequality defined, and x must be less than a, then z1 is less than z2, If suppose z1 equals to x plus iy, z2 equals to a plus ib are two complex numbers. z1 equals to x plus iy, z2 equals to a plus ib are two complex numbers. Now the addition of two complex numbers z1 plus z2 is defined by now x plus iy plus a plus ib. Now that equals to x plus a plus I of y plus b, means first add only real parts plus I into imaginary parts. Similarly z1 minus z2 equals to x plus iy minus of a plus ib, that equals to x minus a plus I of y minus b, Next, if suppose here in this chapter always I equals to square root of minus 1, I is also called iota. I is called iota also. Now I equals to root of minus 1. Now squaring on both sides, I square equals to minus 1. Next I cube equals to minus I, because I cube can be written as I square into I, that equals to, but I square equals to minus 1, that equals to we get minus I cube equals to minus I. Next I to the power of 4 equals to I square into I square, that equals to minus 1 into minus 1, because the value of I square equals to minus 1, that equals to 1. Means if suppose the exponent of I is multiple of 4, always its value equals to 1. Now always sum of, if suppose the exponents of I